Are you ready for a real deep dive into the backstage of Real Madrid? Today, you'll find out not just about transfers. We'll tell you how the Madrid club is rebuilding its empire from scratch. In this episode, there's everything. Big official deals, insider scoops from top informants, hidden contract details, and even unexpected twists in the fates of young stars. This is not just a video. This is a true chronicle of the transformation of a great club. Real Madrid once again reminded everyone of itself on the transfer market, spending an impressive $167 million this summer. This figure placed the Madrid club fifth among all teams in the world in transfer spending in 2025. Only the English giants are ahead. Manchester City with $176 million, Liverpool with $216 million, and Arsenal and Chelsea sharing first place with identical spending of $224 million each. Against the backdrop of the Premier League's total dominance, Real remains the only non-English club to enter the top 5 biggest spenders this summer. And all this comes with the transfer window closing soon. On September 1st, Real's $167 million outlay became the club's 4th most expensive transfer window under Florentino Pérez. This is a very telling number, especially if we remember the club's path after the pandemic. In the 2020-21 season, Real didn't spend a single euro on strengthening the squad. A year later, they invested only $31 million in Camavinga, and last season, $49 million on Endrick and Joselu. Modest spending went hand in hand with big victories: La Liga, the Champions League, and stable performances under Zidane and Ancelotti. All this allowed the club not only to remain competitive, but also to significantly strengthen its financial foundation. Today, however, we are witnessing a radically changed strategy. The club has returned to serious investments. But unlike the past Galacticos era, when Real spent hundreds of millions on established stars like Hazard, Ronaldo, or Bale, the current policy is completely different. The main focus is on youth, squad depth, and especially the defensive line. This summer, Real signed Trent Alexander-Arnold from Liverpool for a symbolic $10 million, a sum made possible due to specific contract clauses. From Bournemouth, they acquired highly promising central defender Dean Huyson for $59.5 million. Benfica sold to Madrid Álvaro Carreras, one of the most exciting young fullbacks of his generation, for $50 million. And the crown jewel of the transfer campaign was the purchase of 17-year-old Argentine wonderkid Franco Mastantuono from River Plate. Real paid $45 million for him, making a bet on talent and the future. Thus, what we see is a clearly structured line, not a focus on flashy big names, but on long-term value and potential. Real continues building a new cycle, not with sharp leaps, but with a deep strategy and faith in its own resources. This is more than just a transfer campaign. This is the foundation of a new generation and a statement about what Real will be in the next decade. The bet on talent continues, and the new cycle in the history of the Madrid club is only beginning. Against the backdrop of the latest high-profile transfers of young stars, the Spanish outlet AS published a feature summing up Real Madrid's 15-year journey of betting on youth. And this is not about random purchases, but about a systematic strategy, identifying future stars before they shine in other teams and double their value. The essence of the strategy is to stay ahead of the market, not adapt to it. Real Madrid has learned to anticipate players' development. The club prefers to invest large sums now, so as not to overpay later when a player blossoms elsewhere. This approach not only allows Madrid to develop talent within its own structure, but also to maintain control over that development. An additional benefit: if a player fails to meet expectations, the losses are far smaller than in the case of buying an established star for hundreds of millions. Moreover, this model helps the club compete with the new generation football superpowers, state-backed clubs or billionaire-funded teams. Unlike those who buy the ready-made product, Real prefers to cultivate its own, and the results speak for themselves. Over the last 15 years, dozens of names have passed through this system, many of whom became key figures for the club, while others left but brought profit. AS provides several fresh examples to show how this strategy works. The most recent star Madrid managed to secure ahead of everyone else is 17-year-old River Plate wonderkid Franco Mastantuono. His transfer cost Real a record $63 million. An unprecedented sum for a player with just a handful of first-team matches. For Madrid's scouts, however, he is a full-fledged project. Franco made his debut for River in January 2024, and by summer had become the youngest player ever to appear for Argentina, 17 years, 9 months, and 22 days. His main weapons are explosive dribbling and dangerous runs cutting inside from the right flank as a left footer. He can also play as a number 10. Technically gifted, with vision and finishing ability, Mastantuono will officially become a Real Madrid player on August 14th, his 18th birthday. This summer's transfer of Hayson became the most expensive defensive signing in Real's history. For the 20-year-old defender, the club paid $58 million. Born in Amsterdam but already called up by Spain, he joined from Bournemouth, where he worked under coach Andoni Iraola. Hayson has already debuted for Los Blancos at the Club World Cup and looked assured. Strong, technical, and tactically well-drilled, he is exactly what the team needs, especially given Alaba's age and the potential reshaping of the defensive line. Another example of early talent capture is Arda Güler. In the summer of 2023, Real paid £20 million for him, $2.5 million more than his release clause, plus another $8 million in bonuses. Arda was brought in to strengthen the right flank of attack where the team lacked depth, but injuries delayed his debut. Gradually, he began appearing on the pitch, first on the right, then as a central midfielder, and sometimes even deeper in midfield. Working with Xabi Alonso and the coaching staff shifted his trajectory. Now Güler plays more often in deeper roles, taking part in build-up play, and is preparing to become a true orchestrator of Real's attack. Unlike many others, Bellingham did not arrive as a prospect, but as a star. On June 14, 2023, Borussia Dortmund received 103 million plus bonuses for him. His first season at the Bernabeu was phenomenal, and the second one became about confirmation. Although his level dipped slightly, which is understandable, sustaining such a standard is incredibly difficult. Nevertheless, Bellingham firmly established himself as one of Real's main Galacticos and one of the top players in world football. Endrick, the former Palmeiras forward, was signed back in December 2022 for $35 million, plus $25 million in bonuses, when he was only 16. He drew attention with his pace, powerful left-footed strike, and explosive strength. Despite limited minutes in his debut season, he scored 7 goals in 843 minutes, including strikes in both La Liga and Champions League debuts. However, an injury late in the season and Gonzalo's sudden breakthrough reduced his chances of playing more minutes in 2025-26. Eduardo Camavinga, the Frenchman, became a club priority on the last day of the 2021 summer transfer window after the Mbappé deal collapsed. Real paid $30 million plus $15 million in bonuses. Camavinga impressed with his runs, ball control, and contribution to famous comebacks en route to the 14th Champions League title. However, he never nailed down a consistent starting role. He was used in multiple positions and frequent injuries prevented him from settling. Rainier, one of the unsuccessful projects. Signed under a deal similar to Vinicius Jr., Real paid $30 million to Flamengo for him. He started in Castilla, scoring 2 goals in 3 matches, but the pandemic stalled his progress. What followed was a series of loans: Borussia Dortmund, Girona, Frosinone, and Granada. He never played a single minute for Real Madrid's first team. Currently training with Castilla, his contract runs until 2026. Such stories have accumulated plenty over Real's 15-year path. Not every transfer was successful, and some talents never blossomed. But the essence of the strategy is not about 100% accuracy. It's about broad and intelligent scouting. The focus on youth allows Real Madrid to build not for one season, but for a decade. And that is what sets Madrid's project apart from all others. Here, they are not afraid to wait, invest, and be patient, because results always come. And now, with figures like Hayson and Mastantuono joining the club, one thing is clear: the bet on talent continues. A new cycle in the history of Real Madrid is only just beginning. One thing is certain: Real Madrid is changing, but its DNA remains the same: to stay one step ahead of everyone else. New names, new challenges, but the same faith in talent and in the future. And while the world debates price tags, Madrid bets on potential. Don't miss it, because this is where the next generation of legends is born.